What's up, Mr. Rock? It's your boy D.W.G Gamer, and we're back with some more Trials of Mana. Last time we were playing, we entered the dwarf tunnels looking for the merchant who sells the fucking cannon fuel. We couldn't buy it because I'm broke at the moment. He wanted 3,000. I don't got 3,000. Then he's like, wait, I gotta go find Gnome. Then he ran off. And I was like, wait! Sell me this shit before you run off to find Gnome. And while that was happening, I was also talking about this recent article I found online with some white dude. We're trying to see how orcs and the depiction of orcs is racist and talking about black people or culture. And me being like, that's not racist. Alright? Because first off,
allow me. Don't keep me.
This is the real point I was trying to make. Orcs aren't human. Alright? I'm not even gonna say it's a fantasy game because yeah, there can be racist elements in a fantasy game. That's why I started listing off what happened when I played Call of Cthulhu, the tabletop game, and what happened when, two experiences I remember where, specifically, let's go back to Call of Cthulhu. My homie Kevin is black. He's light-skinned nigga. I know he ain't racist. At least to black people, I know he ain't racist. He's no Uncle Ruckus. Alright? And that's just him being in character, playing how he believes the character would have reacted, knowing that me and the mayor don't get along, we don't see eye to eye. The mayor's always trying to cause trouble for me. As soon as he saw a chance they might be able to lock me up or fucking run me out the town, he took it when he realized he wasn't going to get, the chance. We fucking fell onto name calling and derogatory slangs. Fallout with Chun-Li, because I still can't remember that chick's name. And I'm still trying to figure out the app we used, man. Skype! It was Skype! How did I freaking forget Skype? Yeah, we were playing it on Skype. So we could see all each other's faces and shit. I had, like I said, my homie Tiger introduced me to Chun-Li because they met when he had to do Chun-Li's makeup when she was doing, I forget whatever play it was, for the school. And she was specifically playing one of the ghost chicks. I think it was Macbeth. Like in Macbeth, there's like 3 ghosts or witches, and she was one of the witches, right? Or ghost. Forget which one it was. We kicked it off. Thought she was cool. She told me, we were talking about video games, and I brought up tabletop. I thought as an actor or an actress, any chance to hone your actress skills would be appreciated. And I told her about, you know, Nick in Pain. Because it was similar to Macbeth, you know, it was a fucking horror. Tragedy, horror, supernatural. You know? And she was into it, and so we set it up. You know, my homie Jose, me, Kevin Hurd. You know. I was a fucking cowhand / cowboy. Jose was the fucking sheriff, and she was a detective who was looking into the mysterious happenings of the town / the farm. Right? Now, like I'm saying, right? Like, these are fantasy games. Like, the fantasy games I'm talking about, me, Vampire Masquerade, and Call of Cthulhu, are considered like they're fantasy, but they're not true fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like D&D, Warhammer, well, that's a sci-fi fantasy. You know, like those are true fantasy games, right? But like Call of Cthulhu, Vampire Masquerade, for the most part, is like more of a human fantasy, you know, a supernatural fantasy, not a true fantasy. Of course, there are certain true fantasy things in Vampire the Masquerade. You know, there's people who have magic, there's fucking fairies and shit, werewolves. Like, you know, that's a lot of shit in the Vampire Masquerade universe that makes it a true fantasy. But for the most part, when we're talking about Vampire the Masquerade, alright, for the most part, it's a supernatural fantasy, not a true fantasy. Like, very rarely does it become a true fucking fantasy. Let's talk about the 2 times I've experienced racism in games. Right? One was at the hand of a friend who was just playing his role, and the other was so subvert that I didn't even realize it's like 30 minutes later that, oh, that was racist. But you know, I still laugh about sometimes to this day. Of course, I didn't play another game with them, alright? Not because I didn't want to, or I was so offended. Alright? I just didn't play another game because I really didn't have the time. Like, I couldn't fit it into my schedule, you know? Like, those were true racist experiences, alright? Calling orcs savages, brutes, and animalistic isn't racist. It's just not. To an orc, that's a compliment. If you look at their culture, where they're supposed to be brutal, savage, and animalistic, you know, because that's how you win wars and fights. If you're not those 3 things, you die and you fucking lose. You're not welcomed into heaven. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, alright, let's just pause right there. Let's go to half-orcs. Let's go to half-orcs, right? And look at their situation, which is a bit different from full orcs, you know, because they are half human, right? So certain things can apply, right? Half orcs are segregated, you know. Most of the time, you know, they're not allowed to get certain jobs because their orc blood leaves them untrusted, all right? They can normally only, get such things as like construction worker or bodyguard, things like that. You ain't gonna get no running a storefront or being a bartender. What are you doing? Who are you flirting with? Are you just practicing your flirting with the fucking wall? Did you see your reflection in this fucking gym? And I'm like, oh, who is that cutie there? You need to stop. Alright? So with half orcs, I can understand that, the racist belief a bit more than with true orcs. Because like I said, with true orcs, it's more specious than it is racist, And of course it is, like, when you go to war with somebody, like again and again and again, we're constantly in fear of another city or kingdom attacking you and enslaving your people, and all you hear is tales of them attacking and enslaving people. It's gonna fucking jar your view of them. It just is. You're going to see it like the Mongolians. Like, you read certain depictions of Mongolians, alright? Some of their depictions don't even describe them as humans. Demons on horseback with raw bloody meat strung from their teeth as the blood dribbled down. Like, some description of Mongolians is crazy. Alright? That was part of the Mongolian scare tactic to destroy the resolve of the people they were fighting, because it's a mental attack as well as a physical. If I mentally break you down, physically you're going to be weakened. Same thing with orcs. They try to be brutal and as savage as possible, cleave somebody now, pounding their chest, smearing the blood across their chest as they stare their next opponent in the eye to destroy their morale, to rout their army and force them back, to weaken their defenses. That's what that's all part of. And when all you hear are tales of these warriors, these brutal savage warriors, not caring about missing limbs or the person next to them falling, just charging to the battle headlong, looking for the next victim, it's going to lead to that belief. It is. Or vice versa, when they're not in battle, they're just at a random bar drinking. Someone says something, and next thing you know, their mug is being smashed into the person who says something skull. It will paint them in a negative picture. Alright? Although those two scenarios are different, right? One's mental warfare, and the other is just the way their gods fuck with them, Because an orc's emotions are like, orcs are down there bipolar, man. Like when they feel sadness, it's like someone just poured ice on them, When they're angry, it's like they're on fire. When they're excited or happy, it's like fucking running through a field of flowers. Or having a very aromatic fucking cup of tea. Like, it's... when they're in love, it's like being surrounded by cushiony pillows. Like, they feel strongly. But when it comes to insults and disrespect, like, imagine someone says something that you didn't like, and like, it bothered you to the point where it felt like it cut you. Or like, it bothered you to the point where like that feeling of rage, where like your stomach feels like it's on fire, starts like boiling up. So yes, they're emotionally unstable. They're mentally unstable due to their upbringing, forcing them to be as savage and ruthless as possible. Because only the most savage and ruthless orc deserves respect. If you're a weakling, you're going to be bullied and probably killed. You can't have a wife. You can't have a home. In fact, you might even be kicked out the tribe because you're just that weak. You're just that useless. And And you partner those three things up, those two things up, with the fact that one of their gods tells them you have to fight to earn your place. Because your place was stolen and taken from you before you were even born. It's like a three-front assault. They're already super emotional. They're already mentally damaged by their surroundings. Then their religious belief eggs them on to the warpath even more. Onto the path of fighting and violence even more. Yeah, I didn't feel nothing when you did that shit to me. I just popped my neck. And the same thing applies to half-orcs. While the call of Groomish, is that how you say it? May not be as strong as a full-blooded orc. The way their emotions affect them is just as strong as a full orc. When they're depressed, they feel cold. When they're in love, they feel like they're surrounded by pillows. When they're angry, they feel like they're on fire. And the fire won't go out until they do something about it. Insults aren't just mere words. It's stroking this elemental, emotional barrage, which leads to them being distrusted in human settlements. I can't have you being a cashier or a fucking waiter or waitress because I don't want to risk you beating up my customers. But pause on that, rewind back. Let's talk about actual racism in D&D, alright? Let's first focus on the elves. Alright. Versus the drow. Now, for those of you who don't know, drow and elves are basically the same fucking thing. Alright? They originated from the same race, but some shit happened and they split off. Alright? And then they were changed after splitting off. Drow and elves hate each other. Even though they're both elves, they hate the fuck out of each other. They hate each other so much that drow aren't even allowed to go to elf heaven. They go straight to hell. So not only they hated by their elven brothers, but the elven gods hate them too. Alright? It's to the point that whenever an elf or a drow meets, it's a fight or a war. Because they can't coexist with each other. Now that's racism. A clear-cut case. We got normal elves hating on this subgroup or this minority group of elves to the point to where they want to exterminate that subgroup. Hell, let's look at the fucking wood elves. The wood elves, or it's the green elves. I forget which one they call it now. They used to be an entire fucking like the wood elves used to be so fucking strong, my nigga. Then they went to war with the other elves, and they were decimated to the point that they were forced out of the Feywilds into the mortal realm. The other elves then chased them into the mortal realms, beat their ass some more, destroyed any cities they tried to build, to when the wood elves had to fucking retreat into the forest. And any time they tried to make a city, their cities would be destroyed by other elves. To the point to where their magic and their history and knowledge was reduced. They're not much better than fucking barbarians. They're literally beat from like the pinnacle of magic and history and knowledge to nothing more than barbarians living in the forest. And there are still plenty of elves who have a deep-seated hatred for wood elves. They look down on them. That's racism, alright? And I'm talking about high elves. I'm talking about silver, stars, and gold elves, man. Hating on the wood and drought. Gold elves, which are known as the high elves, are the elves that still live mostly in the Fae. And it is the star elves, or silver elves, who chase down the wood elves into the mortal realm and then beat the fuck out of them until they became nothing more than barbarians in the forest. That's why star elves are the most common elf in the human realm. Because they're still constantly going city to city, place to place, looking for these other elves, fighting these other elves back, and while doing it, mating with humans, setting up their own cities and shit in these human civilizations. So like, we want to talk about racism and racists. The elves are the strongest fucking, at least in terms of their history and lore. They are the most racist race. Shoot. What? Two of their fucking sub-races have not only been beaten out of their ancestral homes, but they lost their fucking culture and history. The wood elves. The wood elves lost horribly in comparison to the drought. I mean, the drought still got their culture and their history and their lore. And I don't think the drought will actually ever fucking lose, because I think that's just gonna be a stalemate. But the wood elves, man, they had it rough. They had it rough. And then the gold elves hate literally all the other elves. They look down on the star, they look down on the wood, they especially hate the drow. They us as the elite and the fucking best of the elves. And all the other elves are just waste of space. Now that's, you know, that's D&D racism right there. Alright. The whole human depiction of orcs and shit like that isn't racism, it's speciesism. And even then, is it truly speciesism when about 65% of it's true? Yeah, orcs eat people. Orcs are quick to fight. They're quick to anger. Alright? And orcs are fucking hard to kill. They survive fucking injuries and shit, which most people would consider to be impossible. They're able to take fucking hits that would slaughter a normal person and stand back up. That could look monstrous to somebody. You know? But it's not racist. Because, despite all of that, most of the time, those undertones that should be there aren't. They're just not there. How many times can you think of when you or someone who's been playing a half orc or a full orc actually been denied a place to sleep? Oh no, you can't stay at this inn because you're an orc. I don't care about the gold. You just can't stay here. Alright. Oh no, you can't enter the city because you're an orc. Like, how many times has it actually happened to you? Or to a homie of yours? Or to, like, anyone in any campaign? How many times? Has someone actually say that true to the lore? Never. Ever. But you know when it does happen? When someone does start staying true to the lore? Whenever fucking elves are involved. They look down on people. They'll attack certain people on sight. Elves are just assholes. Like, you know, I don't mean to bash elves, alright? Because, like, it's true. I don't like elves, alright? So, biased. Alright. But for real, most of the time, when you think of unsavory conversations or racially speciously charged conversations, it's with a fucking elf. It's never with a human NPC unless it's a noble. Unless you're doing a job for some noble and, you know, he says something about, who let this filthy creature... I mean, like, only then, when you're dealing with nobles, is that actually a thing. You know? So no, orcs aren't racist. The description of orcs, it ain't racist. Because first off, it's not based off of any color. I mean, like, I don't know. Are Mongolians and Vikings, are they considered a color group? Are they? I mean, they're not even really based off them. It's just as much as like their war tactics and their belief system. But I think it really is. It's just a savage and beastly depiction of orcs that people try to draw a conclusion to black people, which is, first of all, wrong to do. Alright? Because if you draw that, if that's the first thing you think of when you read a beastly or monstrous description, the low to the ground, sloped foreheads, and bestial look in the eye. Like, the first thing you think about that is, like, after you read that is a black person, then it's not orcs that are racist. It's most likely you. Alright? You're the racist, and you're projecting. In fact, you're not even projecting. You think that, and then you don't want to take control of your own thought, right? It can't be your fault that you read that and then immediately thought of black people. No, what it had to be was the source. The source had to make you think about black people. Which that's not the case. It's like, for example, N-word. The N-word. When people say N-word, that is a true case of someone making you think nigga or you know, like N-word is a true case of people making you think that shit. But savage, brutal, animalistic, if those three words make you think of a black person, then it's not, trust me when I say this, my nigga. It's not the three words. It's you. If you hear N-word and you think nigga and you think of niggas, then yeah, it's the word. It's the words N-word that made you think that. But if you hear beastly, savage, or animalistic, and then you think about niggas, that's you. For some reason in your mental mind space, you associate niggas with beasts, savages, and animals. It has nothing to do with the words or the description. It has everything to do with your cognitive thinking. And it's your fault you think that way. Really, the article about like orcs being racist seems to me like someone who's trying to project and take no responsibility for their own thinking and actions. Like when you hear pussy, the first thing you think of is one of two things. Either you think of a cat, or you think of the kitty, the box. That makes sense because the box is called a pussy and the cat is called a pussy. Another perfect example, right, is when you hear the word thug or gangsta and you immediately think of a black person. I'm not going to say you're wrong to think that, because there are a lot of black gangs. There are a lot of black thugs. There are just as many Mexican gangs and thugs too. Gangster is actually a term to describe Italian mafioso. They were called gangsters. It's something that black people took from the Italian mob movement and wanted to emulate. There we go. Emulate? Maybe it's emulate. That sounds a lot better. I did a lot of talking. I talked for 35 minutes.
Where'd this hole come from? Oh, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, fuck.
Ah! Did you hear that? I ain't gonna stick around. Later!
Sounds like a boss fight. Oh, tentacle. Tongue. It's a long ass tongue. That's a cute mole.
What? You moles just appeared! Hey! Not food! Can't eat us! Go home! Run!
I'm doing my
I couldn't select that. Oh.
This does not bode well. Everyone, stay vigilant.
This thing's actually really cute. I like it. And that's like my real problem with the whole, like, orc thing. Because with elves, usually people don't say elves are racist.
Why is it all agitated now? Oh, come on.
Fuck you, bitch. Elves are without a doubt the most racist race in D&D. Alright. And I don't hate on them because of that. I'm not talking shit about them. Oh shit. No wait, no, that's Reese. I thought that was me.
Everyone doing all right? Woo! So that's the legendary
I just acknowledge the fact that
monster jewel eater. Well, I'll be. Oh, the tunnel entrance you know as Stone Split Gap, we call Gem Valley. They say that Jewel Eater only surfaces in the valley once every 1,000 years. Oh, you all are lucky.
1,000.
The first gnome goes missing, and now Jewel Eater appears. What in tarnation is going on?
Well, my ears done started burning.
Gnome! You're all right.
Well, of course I'm all right. See? There I was, just taking a nap, minding my own business, when Jewel Eater done come out of nowhere and dug a burrow straight through my bed.
Jewel Eater just came out of nowhere.
I'd have been that monster's lunch. Whew.
Ooh, that ain't nothing to laugh about.
Gnome? We need your help.
Oh, if it ain't Fairy. Been too long, sister.
With the power of the elementals, we can open the portal to the Sanctuary of Mana. Please?
Well, I ain't one to turn down a request from an upstanding lady like yourself. Leave it to me, miss.
Wait, is he jumping on the ground or is he jumping in the air? I don't know what he's doing. I can't make sense of it. And you guys says known power you can use earth elemental magic by putting training points towards abilities on the training section. Blah blah. You get us an extra stone saber. Protection, boosts allies defense, diamond shard, those are magic diamonds. Depictions and descriptions as racist, right? But I look at that as you read that and then you thought something, and then like a bitch you were like, nope, that ain't me. I ain't the type to think like that. So it has to be this's fault. I heard, you know what, let's not even say pussy, right? Let's say cake. Or cream pie, you know. You heard the words cake and cream pie. Or giving someone a cream filling, and you immediately thought what you're thinking right now. They're like, nope, that ain't me. It's the words that overtly blah blah blah, right? Is it really that those words, or overtly blah blah blah, or this just that you're perverted? If hearing the word cream filling makes you think about, if hearing the word cream pie makes you think about, instead of an actual cream pie, and if hearing the word cake makes you think of, instead of actual cake, then nigga, it's not the words, it's you. It's you. It's you. Like, that's all I'm really trying to say. Like the last 3 episodes I've been talking about this. That's all I'm really trying to get you at the end of the day. It's not orcs that are racist. No, it's you. You're racist. And you don't want to face the fact that you're racist, so you're trying to blame everything else. And if it's not that, they're trying to draw attention to something that's a non-issue. Which is no better than being racist.
You guys are friends with the great and powerful gnome.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry for being so rude earlier. Here, you can have the nitramite on the house. Oh, don't you worry about it. No charge.
Bet.
Here, I'll send you right back to the entrance to Dwarf Tunnel with this
Bootlicker, ass kisser. And when I say cake, alright, cake doesn't mean the same thing as a cream pie or a cream filling. Alright? Just like when I say kitty, alright? You know, I'm talking about that box. No, when I say cake, I'm talking about that ass. You hear someone that's caked up, alright? It means them two things. They got too much makeup on, or they got a fat ass. Alright, I was using cake to describe an ass. And I was saying that if I say cake and you immediately think about an ass, instead of cake, it's not cake's fault that you thought about ass. Or then I said the box, you immediately thought of the box instead of a box. You know, like, it's not the word's fault that you think that. Alright? That's how you think. Like I said, there are certain times, like N-word. Oh yeah, you hear N-word, you're only gonna think of nigga. Because that's what it fucking means. You're not gonna hear N-word and go, oh, Nigerian. You ain't gonna hear N-word and be like, ah, Nagas. Yes, Nagas. I mean, you could. And if you do, bless your heart. Stay pure, my friends. I'll come and walk back. I'm good.
Well, suit yourself. I'm heading straight back.
Yeah, I could absolutely. I could go back, but like I want to look around, make sure I got everything. So yeah. It's not orcs.
Let us work together to completely attack
Hurry, let's move!
Shoot. Hell, drows will enslave almost any and everything. They enslave orcs, humans, dwarves, gnomes, troglodytes, fucking... What are those other ones called? What are those other fish people called? They're called troglodytes. They're called, the crazy fish people, man. What are they called? Oh shit, I was about to start playing that music. I'm listening to Lil Baby's My Turn Deluxe Edition. That should go hard. Wait, Koatoa? Yeah, Koatoa. Like, they'll enslave all those things, but if they catch an elf, and it's not a male, alright, they kill female elves instantly, almost immediately. The male elves, they'll fucking rape to death. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because we all don't know, Drow society is ran by females. Right? It's a matriarchy where, you know, women have all the power and men are subservient and weaker than females due to their new patron god, Lol, being the spider god. Alright? And her hate for the male. Well, he's not even really a male, man. The king of the elven gods, who Lol tried to rebel against, isn't even male. I'm saying he, but doesn't actually have a real gender.
Menace! Defeat it quickly!
You could say that it's actually a hermaphrodite, which is why, a little known fact, elves can actually be born hermaphrodites. They can be born with both.
Hostile entity! Be careful!
One down!
The area is clear of threats.
Should work!
We have earned a rest.
Let us work together to defeat the enemy! Stay true! Why did I even bother?
I know, why do they? Why do you even try?
Let us work together to defeat the enemy! That was easy.
This is my fight. No need to struggle.
Okay,
We won admirably.
let us work together to defeat the
Next! Got you! Next! One!
I gotta really work getting these, I think I got everything out of that, man. I think I did.
Take down the enemy! Got you! Uh-oh! Next! Run! Got you!
We won admirably.
But yeah. It's not like it's not orcs' fault if you hear a description of orcs and you think black people, all right? Just like, oh, perfect example. If you hear the word monkey and you immediately think of a black person, nigga, you racist.
Welcome!
Alright? No two ways about it. first thing comes to your mind after you hear the word monkey is a black person instead of, I don't know, a fucking chimpanzee. Or a fucking baboon. Or a spider monkey. Like, if none of those come to your head when you hear monkey, but you immediately think of a black person, is that because the word monkey, I mean, it has been used as a racially charged slur. But it's not because it's racist, it's because
Got you!
you've been taught to associate that word with a slur for black people. Meaning that if you're not racist, the people who raised you or your friends who taught you that are racist. Which either way, it's just not a good look. Alright. So I hope, I think I made a better... I think I explained it better this go around. Because like last episode, you know, I was just... Because it's still fucking stupid to me, man. Even though I think about it too hard. It's fucking stupid. Hell, it's even dumber when you realize the fact that orcs are supposed to be gray. But most of the time people play green orcs. Instead of gray. So like even the whole color thing doesn't really make sense. No. So the whole grayskin angle. Most of the time, I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. And I think I'm like the only person who tries to play a gray orc. Because most of the time everybody is a green orc. Like it's like you can't even go there. Because, you know, orcs aren't the only skin with the green, you know? Goblins can be green. Shoot. Tritons can be green. Most of the time they're blue, but they can be green. I've seen some depictions of green tritons. But yeah, alright, hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode, you know. You know, it was just, what, 35 minutes of me ranting. What, 15 minutes of me doing a boss fight, and then 18 minutes of me ranting some more. And I didn't even touch tieflings. Right. Which are cursed humans. So I can understand y'all saying that being racist. But no, like, all the races that I can understand, people be like, oh, that's racist. Because there are racially charged shit. Y'all go after the orcs. Like, really? Orcs hate everybody equally. In fact, you could say orcs hate dwarves and humans a little bit less. And they hate elves and gnolls and like any of the fucking Fey races. Yet elves are known for looking down their nose at the other races as stupid simpletons. And elves are known for actually like purging their own race of lesser races. Like, y'all don't point out that as racist. But because orcs are described as great. Okay, alright, I'm out.